Hi, I'm Stephen Downs from the National Research Council here in Ottawa, Canada. And this is the first episode of a series of videos, I hope, on how to get your course, conference, event, community up online in a hurry. Quick, cheap, and easy. Hopefully free. But, there might be some things you might want to pay for. We'll talk about that. So I'm going to begin with email. Why email? Because email is the thing that holds everything else together. You'll use email as your first point of contact with other people, your students, your community members, whatever. And as well, you use email to sign in to a lot of different services online. We'll talk about that as we go along. I'm using Gmail for my email provider because for many of these services, it's a one-button sign-in. You just click sign in with Google and you're done. Now, it's Google. There's trade-offs, right? You're going to be giving information to Google. Google's going to use that for marketing and other purposes, demographics, etc. You are going to receive free stuff, free services from Google. That's the trade-off. Now, some people aren't comfortable with that trade-off, and I get that. There are other options that are more difficult or more expensive. I'm focusing on cheap, easy, and quick. And that means I'm going to accept these trade-offs. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm getting a lot of value in my mind from the information that I'm providing to Google. They're giving me free services. It's a deal I can live with. So, okay. I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to go to Gmail. So what does that look like? Well, the easiest way to get to it is just to type mail in your browser window. Or if you want to go all out, type mail.google.com. Either way, you'll end up with a sign-in screen that looks something like this. If you already have a Google account, you can use that account, or you can choose to create a new account if you want. And that's what I'm going to do here. I want to keep this all fresh and clean. So, create account. For myself, if I want to manage a business, I'll do that later. So, it wants my name, a username, and a password. So I'll give it my name, Stephen Downs, and a username. Let's see now. I'm going to be offering a MOOC because I offer MOOCs, and the MOOC will be on ethics. So let's try ethics.mooc. Makes sense, right? And now a password. You notice it's a long password that I'm typing? That's a good idea. Don't just stay with 8 characters. Go longer. Make sure it's something you can remember. Maybe use a number or a symbol in it somewhere, but the main key here is length. The longer it is, the harder it is for a hacker to guess it. So, okay, name, username, which will also be my email address, and password. So let's click next. Oops, my passwords didn't match. There's always something, eh? Let's try that again. Oh, username ethics.mooc is taken. Let's try it on the way around. mooc.ethics. Why not? We'll try that. That worked. Now, it wants my phone number. I also saved the password there. I'm using Chrome. On Firefox, I use a password manager, which I think is a better idea. I'm on Chrome. I just saved the password. Maybe you shouldn't do that, but if it's your own computer and you're pretty secure with it and you're not carrying it around with you, you're probably fine. Okay. verifying your phone number. So it wants me to enter my phone number. I'm going to enter my phone number because this gives Google a way to verify that it's me. And if I need to recover this account or something, they have information here that will help them do that. It can also be used for two-factor authentication. We'll see an example of that. As I enter the phone number, it'll use my text as a way of verifying that, yes, it really is me. So I'm not going to show you my phone number. So let's go back to my beautiful face while I do this. So now I'm typing in my phone number. Okay, and now I'm clicking next. And what it's going to do now, and you just heard that little beep in the background, it has sent me a text message asking me to verify my message. So I'm going to take my phone here, and here's my Google verification code, and it has popped up the little form here, so I'm going to type it in, and I would be showing you this, except it's still showing you my phone number on the screen, and I don't want to show you my phone number on the screen. Maybe I can cover that over and you can see the rest of it. That's a good idea. Let's do that. So I'll just take this, make it a little small. All right, so that's as small as it'll let me go. And so now, there we go. So I've covered over my phone number here, but you can see I'm entering the verification code, and there's the code that I received. I don't mind showing you that because that'll be different every time. All right, so I'm going to click verify, and now it comes to a welcome to Google screen. It's showing my phone number again. So I'll cover that over and we'll look at the rest of the page. So here's the rest of the page. My phone number's under this, right? So it wants a recovery email address, my birth date, and my gender. Again, this is information that it's going to use in order to secure and authenticate my account. So I'm going to type that in. I'm going to give it a recovery email because it's a good idea. Typing, typing, typing. Now I'll enter in my birthday, which you don't need to know, and my gender, which you can probably figure out. And now I'll hit next. Okay, so now we have a screen here. This is what I get as a result. It wants to get more from your number. I'm just going to skip this for now. If I want it, I'm sure I'll have the option to opt into advertising, etc. later. All right, so next is privacy and terms. You have to agree to those, otherwise they won't give you any service. So you just click on I agree. And once I've clicked on I agree, now we're loading Gmail. And we're sorry, but your Gmail account is temporarily unavailable. We apologize for the inconvenience. Okay, let's try again. That's pretty funny. It's really funny because I've tried this video several times and I've had a bunch of different problems come up. I tried using Microsoft Edge, but I'm in my office and cookies are all disabled by default in my office, so I couldn't use Edge. So then I used Google Chrome, as I'm using here now, and I use, and you notice it's grayed out, I use a advertising blocker called uBlock Origin on Chrome, also on Firefox. And it works really well on Firefox, but Chrome has some settings that conflict with it. It's a long story. So my email wouldn't work because of that. So, and then my voice gave out and I kept accidentally showing my phone number. Anyhow, but this time it's working. So I'm going to choose a view, default, and here we are. This is my email account. Now, this is all of this stuff. Just click this little X here and we'll make that go away. And we'll click that X and make that go away. We don't need that. You can do that if you want, but we're just interested in email for now. So, this is my Gmail account. It's also logged me into Hangouts. I'm not even going to worry about that either. So let's compose an email. To do that, I'll just click the plus here. You'll see that a lot. The plus being used to add something. It's one of Google's things. So compose, and you see the little screen come up in the lower right hand corner. Now I'm going to send email. Here's the email address that I'm sending to, stephen@downs.ca. I don't mind sharing that, and you can write me at that if you have questions or comments. And now I'm going to write test. And test is my message. So test here is my subject, test is my message, and I'm going to send it. Message sent. Now, on my actual email, so I have email, I use Gmail in Firefox as well. So this is my Firefox email service. I've had some other emails come in. My email from me hasn't come in yet, but it should in just a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. It's not completely instantaneous. So we'll just minimize that, and we'll wait for that to come in. I'm going to reply to it when it comes in. For now, I'm going to look here, and here's a message that Google sent me. Again, trying to get me to set up my Google account. But to read an email, just click on it, and this is Google's things. This is the message that it wants. Find your phone, more from Google, etc. So, you know, it's a marketing thing. You can follow that if you want, but this is the main stuff here for email. You've sent an email, you've received an email, and when you get more used to using email, you can try out some of these other things. You can see your sent emails by clicking on sent. There's the email that I sent. If I had created a draft and not sent it, it would show up here. When I receive an email, I can star it if I want to keep it around, and then it'll show up in starred, right? And now see if I take the star away, no starred messages, right? I can check this box, and that gives me a bunch of options up here that I can do. Select all of them, none of them. I can archive it, report it as spam, delete it, mark it as unread again, make it go away for a certain period of time, move it to a folder, or attach a label to it. And then there are other options, and you might want to explore those on your own. So that's email. That's all you need to know to get going on email. Now you have an email account, so you can remember what it is, and as long as you're using Chrome, it'll have you logged in. If you're using another browser, you won't be logged in with Google, but you can sign in, and then, well, you will be signed in if you're using Gmail, and then when you go to other websites, you can use your email as a way of logging in. So that's it. We'll move on to the next video on creating a website. Thanks for your time, and again, if you have any questions, be sure to ask them.